Well, I have to think about that for a lifetime because it's not been an immediate thing. One of the recollections I have is in the 8th grade, I accepted Christ as my Lord and Savior. And I told my congregation about it as I reported on my experience at that youth gathering. But then I forgot about it. I only was reminded of that many years later when I discovered some notes about that report. When I was 19, my girlfriend trusted Christ, and I noticed a significant change in her life. And her attitudes, her interests, and maybe more especially her attitude toward me began to be considerably more questionable. Some months later, I followed her pattern and trusted Christ. It took a while for her to begin to see a change in my life, but I think she eventually saw that. Maybe it was what happened in both of us, what Jeremiah talks about, giving us a new heart to remove the heart of stone with a heart of flesh. And so began a process of becoming hopefully more like Christ. Well, eventually married that woman. And the experiences of life coming out of childhood really did a lot to help me to reflect on who I was and who God is and what does He expect of me. You know, we all have to build a resume of competency in our young adulthood. We're good at something. We can prove to the world that we're worth being around. But all of these experiences in my career and even in our family of raising 4 kids and with extended families and maybe even especially in our church involvement always involved challenges that caused us to stop and reflect on where is God in all this? And who am I? And what does He expect of me? And it was kind of a life-changing process. And I think God worked in those experiences to help me to be more aware of who God is and who I am and what He expects of me. I think it's a lot like I've later learned what John Calvin said, that to know God is to know ourselves, and to know ourselves is to know God. So when I began to get a better understanding of who I was, lo and behold, I had a better understanding of who God is. And so now, instead of seeking knowledge about God, it's my desire, my deep desire to know God personally. And I have a passion for that intimate union with God. That I think will come, but only in heaven.